Tell me a little about your family growing up.
Well, growing up, a big part of my family life was that family's everything. So we had many family events. I was always with my cousins, and my parents raised us to have really strong values in family and to always count on your family. And I felt like my family was a really big aspect of my life.
How did the way your parents brought you up affect who you've become?
I think the way my parents brought me up really affected who I've become because they always pushed me to try my best in school, and they taught me how to be a good friend and a good person and to just always be honest, and they made me into a very caring, loyal person.
Okay. Do you think that the way your parents or any parents choose to raise their kids play a big role in the rest of their lives?
Yes, I think it plays a very big role in the rest of a person's life because it's your foundation will always affect who you are going forward because you're always building on that foundation.
Okay. Do you ever wish your parents raised you differently, and why?
There are certain things that I maybe wish would have been different in my raising, but overall, I don't see any discrepancies, and I know that they're doing their best, and they didn't know what they were doing either. They're trying to figure it out as they were going along. They're humans just like me and you. So you have to give them a lot of credit for everything they did.
Okay. And last question, what have you learned from your childhood, parents, people around you, and the environment you grew up in that you still use today?
I think a big thing that I learned was the biggest thing that matters is the person you are. So as long as you're a good person and an honest person and a nice person, then everything else kind of falls into place. It doesn't matter if maybe you don't do very good in school, or you can still make mistakes, but as long as you know that you've made those mistakes or that you've done something wrong, then I think that's the most important thing. And I think seeing people around me who aren't necessarily great people or they don't learn from their mistakes has taught me to learn from my mistakes.
Okay, thanks guys. Tell me a little about your family growing up.
I grew up in a family of 8. We were all born in Nazareth, Israel, and then moved to Michigan when I was a little girl. And then right after college, I moved out to California and worked for a while and then raised family.
Okay, how did the way your parents brought you up affect who you've become?
Moving here from Israel, our parents always taught us to just be accepting of a lot of people and cultures, and I think that's really affected us in a way that just lets us embrace all people.
Do you think that the way parents choose to raise their kids plays a big role in the rest of their lives?
Yes, I actually see it a lot in myself and my siblings, and we have a really big family, and everybody just is always there to love and support each other.
Do you ever wish your parents raised you differently, and why?
Sometimes my mom was really hard on me, and sometimes I just wish that she wasn't so hard on me growing up. At the same time, it's helped shape who I am today and become a really strong and independent person, but at the same time, loving.
And last question, what have you learned from your childhood, parents, people around you, and the environment you grew up in that you still use today?
To just be kind to people. Be kind to people every day. You don't know what people are going through. And just reach out to people. You never know when someone needs a helping hand and how it can affect you.
Okay, thanks, Mrs. Turnbull.
You're welcome.